Here's Alex Jones.
You know, it's days like these when the plate isn't just full, it's so overwhelming that I feel like I'm letting everybody down. And then I get overheated and I get really, really hyper and my brain speeds up and I get guests on who have great things to say and I interrupt them because, that's why I always thank you for putting up with me, because it makes my brain explode. Every article, because my brain makes connections in memory to a larger picture, and I'm basically like Robbie the Robot with smoke coming out of my ears. So thanks for putting up with me when I say that, because just one of these articles has hundreds of data points with it that give me chills up my back. And then I'm sitting here at home and last night and this morning and in the office looking at all this, and just every story and the way the mainstream media responds to it and tries to lie is crazy. You know, we tell you that we're next year's news today. Roger Stone has been saying since January of 2017, 1 year ago, he has been saying that the key to bringing Obama, Hillary, and all of them to justice is the illegal FISA warrant, which they then lied and said they didn't have. First, they said they were surveilling. Then they said they weren't. Then they said we were crazy and made it up. Remember all the CNN clips? And it just goes on and on. And I kept saying, this is the key to everything. I agreed with Roger that the fact that they were spying illegally on the campaign, and then we're doing it when he was president-elect, and then the day he gets elected, it's the front page of the New York Times that they were spying on Trump Tower, and then they lie about it to Congress and say it's preposterous. Clapper, Brennan, Comey, in front of Congress. We have all the clips. We're going to play them today. And now Congress has the classified FISA warrant directed by the president. It wasn't just Comey that went with the fake Fusion GPS. The president of the United States directed that the front runner and the Republican nominee be spied on for espionage with no proof, with a fake dossier, and then lied about it to Congress and lied about it to the American people. And now it's all blown up in their face. And they just hope, like Gruber. Why do I harp on Gruber so much? The top strategist to get Obamacare passed. And he said, I was hired to deceive people that this was going to triple prices on average within 5 years. And I was hired because I'm the best at lying. And thank God the public has no memory. These are quotes. They don't want you to have a memory. And here, right here now, we have Congress, we have senators, we have the FBI coming out. It's all right here. Congress confident bombshell FISA abuse memo will be released soon, resulting in major criminal indictment of major officials. I believe there are people who will go to jail over the intel memo. Worse than Watergate, shocking House intel memo reveals FISA abuse by senior DOJ and FBI. And notice, Trump had this from the time he got into office. He doesn't release secret stuff, though. He's waiting for it to be released through proper channels. Law enforcement was so upset, they leaked to us a previous mass surveillance program of Trump, all his residences, and my residence, and my private office. We broke that last year. So, yeah, next year's news today. And then it goes on and on and on. And then we have the Roger Stone articles from back in March of last year. Trump wiretapping a scandal bigger than Watergate. Roger Stone go after the fraud of the FISA warrant. Again, that's how smart Roger is. The more and more I realize that guy is scary how dead on he is. We've got even bigger news, too. Just stay with us. It's Friday, the 19th day of January, 2018. I am your host, Alex Jones. Sean Hannity last night said that the Russia investigation is over and is officially blown up in their face. I agree that it's a double head tap, what we just saw. The first unstoppable salvo was all the Fusion GPS coming out with the husbands and wives in the Justice Department and FBI, a very close-knit group of less than 30 people at the top, the deputy director of the FBI, the head of the Russia operations, or inside of the Justice Department, all connected, by the way, to the Communist Chinese, smoke screening and blaming Russia for their operations. They went in, created the fake dossier, used it to get the fake FISA warrant, and now we know Obama directed the warrant. Unprecedented, beyond Nixonian. Congress has the memo. It's classified, but they are trying to look at how they're going to release it. Notice Trump knew all this day one. He got elected. He got briefings. Once he was president, that's why they were so scared on the 20th. He could see it all. And that's why when he said, I think it's going to come out Obama was spying on me, and they said, you're insane. Comey said it was insane. We're going to get those clips in front of Congress 2 weeks later. What was that, early February? He said the president, you can pull up the headline, Comey, it's insane to say that Obama ordered spying or knew about spying on Trump. The spying didn't exist, he said, and Obama wasn't involved. It was insane. There it is. Comey called Trump crazy. He used both crazy and insane after Obama wiretapping claims report. There it is, video from the Hill. When did I tell you? I told you, see, my memory has precision. I told you February, but I guess he testified again in the fifth month last year, but he also did it in February. So there you go. Multiple testimonies. So crazy, insane, hearing after hearing after hearing after hearing, and contradicting himself hearing over hearing. There was no secret memos. He didn't leak to the press. There was a secret memo. He did leak to the press. Perjury, 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 perjury. As bad as Brennan saying the NSA has never spied on any U.S. citizen, period. It doesn't exist. It's like saying New York City doesn't exist. Dallas, Texas doesn't exist. Your mama didn't exist. Bananas aren't yellow. Bears aren't brown. The sky isn't blue. There it is. Yeah, in March, Trump's baseless wiretap claim. Remember the hysteria in January, February, March, and April? And CNN clip, Alex Jones is the one. He's the insane person that says the president was being wiretapped, and the White House is using InfoWars as a source. Think about that. The White House wasn't using us as a source. Obama was the source when he was president-elect. When Trump was president-elect, they were in the news saying, we spied on Trump and have total proof he's a Russian. So Trump goes, well, it's illegal to leak that if you have it, but I know that isn't true. So you're lying also about faked leaked intelligence, which is doubly criminal. And now we know it was worse than we thought. Because they're dumb enough to even say in memos, we got to set the president-elect up. We got to stop him. Because that's in the new FISA they got that when Obama was outgoing. Then there's a previous FISA and previous surveillance that wasn't even authorized going on during the campaign, obviously. This is unbelievable. New York Times needs to come clean on wiretap headline. Yeah, that was September of last year, pointing out that on January 20th, 1 year ago tomorrow, that they said they were wiretapping the president. But then again, CNN said that I literally made it up and that there was no reports saying it, even though there were thousands. So see, my crime is a memory. Gruber said we could screw these people over and triple their rates and rob them. Thank God they're so stupid, and thank God they have no memories. A memory is everything. If you're good-natured, love God, have a good memory, and are hardworking, the universe is yours. And they all bet on you not having a memory. And so now we have congressional investigations. We have congressmen and women that have seen the memos. They say the venom is vicious. and that it's Obama directing the whole operation. Well, of course, he's the president. You don't think they're going to carry out stuff this criminal if it wasn't a direct order. But for months and months and months, every day of every week last year, they said that Trump was insane in congressional testimony. Crazy. Mueller said he was crazy. Comey said he was crazy. Everybody said he was crazy. And now, it's all imploding. Comey called Trump crazy and outside the realm of normal, while the president thought there was something wrong with his FBI director. Their toxic relationship revealed. And now everything Trump said confirmed in royal flush yet again. Congressman confident bombshell FISA abuse memo will be released soon. Will result in criminal charges of top officials. I believe people are going to go to jail. Worse than Watergate. We're going to play these clips coming up in the next segment. But we need to have the big headline on Infowars.com and Newswars.com because it seems like nobody else is doing this. We've got to do it yet again. I'm not complaining. I just don't get how people don't see the forest for the trees here. The headline, Trump 100% vindicated in saying he was illegally spied on. Because they illegally went and lied with fake dossiers knowingly in meetings, saying it's an insurance policy, to then go get a warrant to authorize with parallel construction what they were already doing for over a year and a half illegally. And all that's coming out. So we need to go and show screenshots of the New York Times and the Washington Post and CNN, just like I just did on TV. If you're a radio listener, they're putting up dozens of articles saying Trump's insane, Trump's crazy, didn't happen. And then it's exactly as he said. And ram that down their throat because that's the medicine to the poison. That's the medicine of the lies of them saying we're fake news, the president's insane, he's fake, he's dangerous. No, over and over. You'll never have a growth rate of 3%. Roared past that. New York Times, Krugman, full of prunes. You just won the fake news awards, telling America we'd never be great again, demoralizing us like Tokyo Rose in World War II. Unbelievable. And now all of it proven yet again in your stinking faces. Take that. People ask, how can suddenly things 1 year later be so much better, be turning around so quickly? Because it was artificial suppression. That's what globalism is. China has been picked as the industrial base and the place to have prosperity for the elite, not the people. It's an economic war. This has been a 21st century war. And guess what? Patriots just recaptured the country to a certain extent. That's all. We're just Americans. Trump's an American. I'm an American. Rand Paul's an American. You're an American. You could be Hispanic, black, white, whatever. Doesn't matter. If you like America, if you want prosperity, if you want to have freedom, if you want to have a decent life, you believe America's had some really great things about it, and you don't want foreign multinational secret corporations running your life, then you're an American. Let's come in for the big win here, folks. We can do it. We've turned the tide, but I'm telling you, they've created a super PAC called I Am Going to Assassinate President Donald Trump. And it was filed in that den of globalist evil, Chicago. We'll be back with all of this and then even bigger news. Yes, yes, yes. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's cover the anatomy of one of the biggest frauds and one of the biggest fake news stories of 2017. That was mainstream media, establishment, you know what, whole media, telling you that Trump was never wiretapped, period. Trump Tower wasn't. No one in his entourage was spied on, despite the fact that they bragged that they'd done it at the end of the campaign and when he was president-elect. And so here's an article out of Newsweek just last year, December 30th. Did Obama wiretap Trump? No. But it was just one of the right's top conspiracy theories of 2017. So this is just 20 days ago. They're still saying this didn't happen when it's all admitted. Imagine who reads this. The most gullible people. Now, if you guys pull that InfoWars article back up, please, I can give them the date. Thank you. Here is an Adon Salazar article from March of last year when we were hammering them with the truth. So was Drudge Report. New York Times editor blames InfoWars for Trump wiretap claims after reporting on wiretaps. And he goes on to say that I made it up. So what they do is when they want to say something's fake, they just go, oh, that came from Jones. Because they want to discredit us at the same time, turn us into a symbol of falsehood when we're the symbol of truth. That's what we attempt to be. And then project the lie again, regurgitate the lie onto Trump and the American people. Knowing full well his paper ran 20-plus articles in January saying that they'd wiretap the president, and that we've gone over all those articles just from the New York Times saying it in January alone. But as soon as he became the president, he said, that's illegal, and it's not true. And they went, you're insane. You're crazy. Here's the FBI director. No one ever spied on you. You're crazy. Then we think it's the DEA gives us the documents of Trump and myself being spied on for 8 years by Obama. I knew it was real database because it was phone numbers I had in my private office that nobody had. And it said Alex Jones's private office number, Trump's private office number, Trump's private apartment at Mar-a-Lago number. And I had Trump's number at Mar-a-Lago, his private number. And I'm sitting there going, my God, this is real. And you notice the media didn't touch that when we released screenshots with our numbers blacked out, because they knew it was Pulitzer Prize level information. Oh, Roger Stone convinced Obama administration got FISA warrant to monitor him. And now that was last year, early last year, April of last year, all of it proven. And what did Stone say over and over again? Next year's News Today, he said they got an illegal FISA with illegal BS, and they spy on everybody, including you, Alex, and including Trump and his whole family, and they're lying about it, and they've perjured themselves to Congress. We have them cut and dry. They will go to jail if Trump moves on this. And every time he talks to the president, he says, sir, the FISA court was illegal. They had illegal wiretapping before. They lied to do it. You've got to go after them. You've got them cut and dry, just like they got Nixon for illegal spying. Cut and dry. And now you see it. That's why they hate us, folks, because we are technical. We're on the level with what's really going on, talking to the experts. That's why they want to shut down. And I just keep saying that because it's like, alert, 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 alert. We're, you know, the base is being attacked. And I just keep going, just letting you know that this is going on in between the information we put out. But we're at a red alert level here. This is a full-on civil war with hardcore criminals that sold us out to the communist Chinese. Obama's a communist Chinese agent, all of them. And these people are hardcore criminals. And you suddenly see it in the news. Chinese communists have taken over every university. Chinese communists have bought up Hollywood. Twitter takes the orders of the communist Chinese. Google, I mean, they tell them what to censor in America. All that undercover video is coming out. So, this is from March. We can put the InfoWars article back up. Great job finding that. There's a bunch of these videos. But here is CNN memorializing the fact that they say that I made it up that Trump was being spied on and that I was Trump's source. Memorializing what lying scum, and by the way, Anderson Cooper is leftist foundation CIA, and I can tell you right now that that New York Times editor, unbelievable. These are the enemies of this country. Arrogant, conceited, think they're invincible. Guess what? You're just men like everybody else. In fact, you're traitorous men. You're globalist. You were hired because you hate the country. You were hired because you actually enjoy kicking America while it was down. Well, guess what, buddy? Both of you. We're not down anymore. We've been stomped pretty bad, but we're up and awake now, and we're politically going to get you back. You understand that? You started it. You're going to get it now, scum. Everything you did to my family, everybody else, what you've done to Trump, what you've done to the veterans, what you've done to the old people, all your crap's coming to an end. You got that? It doesn't mean some utopia's coming, but we're not out to piss all over the country and break its back so we can teach it a lesson like you globalists are. So let's go to these two traitors. Back in March, memorializing the truth, because we have a memory, and we're going to keep hammering them when people start going to prison, and they're never going to stop trying to get the president. You can't play this game where, oh, it's going to cause a civil war if we send Hillary and all of them to prison. Mr. President, they're not going to stop. They already started a civil war. They've all got to go to prison. They're saying you're a dictator. We all need to be shut down, take our free speech, and then say you're doing that. They've already launched their operations. Phil Mudd's on TV saying he's going to kill you. All we can do is go after him now. Turn the dogs loose. They started it. They did it. They're the foreign power. They're the enemy. They're the traitors. Get them. Get them. Here's the clip.
And so there's this bizarre circular thing happening where the president cites a theory that he was wiretapped, which developed on the kind of fringe right-wing media.
And then there's the New York Times.
And then after his tweet storm, InfoWars then started saying, well, look, it was the New York Times that reported it, citing our story, misreading our story. And now, a few weeks later, the White House and the president are citing InfoWars. So they've got one kind of bizarre right-wing fringe theory to defend another bizarre right-wing fringe theory, both of which there's no evidence to support.
And just to be clear here, there is, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's absolutely nothing whatsoever in your reporting in the New York Times that indicates President Obama wiretapped or ordered wiretapping of then candidate Trump, correct?
Nothing. I mean, if we knew that, that is a fantastic story.
And it just goes on. And now we know it's in the FISA document. The president directed it himself. Of course he did. I mean, you don't just think we thought that, right? You don't think that once he was president-elect and once he was president, he didn't get all that information. And you don't just think, oh, I'm the source for the president? How about the president's the source? You people are sick, man. Enemies of everything decent. Just a group of knuckle-dragging thug criminals who thought they could rape this country forever. We'll be back with the congressional preparation for criminal charges. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. I'm Alex Jones, your host, Infowars.com, Newswars.com. In a few minutes, we're going to go to Trump, who has just started speaking live at a pro-life demonstration and true women's march ahead of what's coming up with the George Soros-financed situation. So we're going to play his remarks. And then I'm going to get back into just how huge this is right now, just how ultra-massive this is right now, that Congress has now seen the FISA memos. Obama ordered it illegally. They lied to get it. We have their other memos where they admit it's a setup to get the president. Then we have them perjuring themselves to Congress last year saying they never did it. That's Comey to Congress. I mean, this is major perjury. Not to mention Obama directing spy agencies against candidate, nominee, president-elect, and then leaving stay-behind networks in government to try to stop the return of the country that's put under globalist control. We are literally involved in a counter-coup, taking our country back. It's just unbelievable. Look at the economy. Look at everything. And then Bono and the U2 that's gotten millions and millions of dollars a month, really billions in the aggregate, billions and billions off of African aid packages and others. And of course, he used to give 0.8%. Under criticism, he started giving 1.2%. So this is a guy that steals money even bigger than the Clintons from black people. But then he has a virtue signaling video with the KKK marching at the White House that calls for opening our borders to everybody. So they destroy the third world, then flood us. I mean, it's just, again, upside down world. Everything they say, it's the opposite. And just look at this monster. Look at the monsters that are people like Bono that just prey on people. It's unspeakable. So that's coming up. Right now, though, let's go ahead and go to the president's ongoing remarks that are live right now at the Women's March. Pence is also there. Here it is.
Thank you very much. That's so nice. Sit, please. We have tens of thousands of people watching us right down the road. Tens of thousands. So I congratulate you. And at least we picked a beautiful day. You can't get a more beautiful day. I want to thank our Vice President, Mike Pence, for that wonderful introduction. I also want to thank you and Karen for being true champions for life. Thank you, and thank Karen. Today I'm honored and really proud to be the first president to stand with you here at the White House to address the 45th March for Life. That's very, very special. 45th March for Life, and this is a truly remarkable group. Today, tens of thousands of families, students, and patriots, and really just great citizens gather here in our nation's capital. You come from many backgrounds, many places, but you all come for one beautiful cause: to build a society where life is celebrated, protected, and cherished. The March for Life is a movement born out of love. You love your families, you love your neighbors, you love our nation, and you love every child, born and unborn, because you believe that every life is sacred, that every child is a precious gift from God. We know that life is the greatest miracle of all. We see it in the eyes of every new mother who cradles that wonderful, innocent, and glorious newborn child in her loving arms. I want to thank every person here today and all across our country who works with such big hearts and tireless devotion to make sure that parents have the care and support they need to choose life. Because of you, tens of thousands of Americans have been born and reached their full God-given potential. Because of you, you're living witnesses of this year's March for Life theme, and that theme is Love Saves Lives. As you all know, Roe versus Wade has resulted in some of the most permissive abortion laws anywhere in the world. For example, in the United States, it's one of only 7 countries to allow elective late-term abortions, along with China, North Korea, and others. Right now, in a number of states, the laws allow a baby to be born from his or her mother's womb in the 9th month. It is wrong. It has to change.
This is incredible.
Americans are more and more pro-life. You see that all the time. In fact, only 12% of Americans support abortion on demand at any time.
This is too powerful.
Under my administration, we will always defend the very first right in the Declaration of Independence, and that is the right to life.
Wow. He's the first sitting president since Roe v. Wade to actually go to one of these events. He pledged he would. He just continues. And their sacrament is this. This is the heart of the globalist operation.
Mark exactly 1 year since I took the oath of office.
He's totally real. This is the final proof.
And I will say our country is doing really well. Our economy is perhaps the best it's ever been. You look at the job numbers. You look at the companies pouring back into our country.
Yes.
You look at the stock market at an all-time high. Unemployment, 17-year low. Unemployment for African-American workers at the lowest mark in the history of our country. Unemployment for Hispanic at a record low in history. Unemployment for women, think of this, at an 18-year low. We're really proud of what we're doing. And during my first week in office, I reinstated a policy first put in place by President Ronald Reagan the Mexico City policy.
This will be a day long
I
remembered.
strongly supported the House of Representatives' pain-capable bill, which would end painful late-term abortions nationwide. And I call upon the Senate to pass this important law and send it to my desk for signing.
Yes. They don't even tell the women they can just have the baby and get paid by the adoption groups hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't tell the women that. They just
On the National
they harvest
Day
the
of
baby.
Prayer, I signed an executive order to protect religious liberty.
They've been using the IRS to bully churches. Absolutely.
Very proud
He
of
promised
that.
me personally
Today,
he would do that.
I'm announcing that we have just issued a new proposal to protect conscience rights and religious freedoms of doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals. So important.
I'll hit pause.
I have
He's
also
live,
just reversed the previous...
but it won't be live when we come back. But we're going to play all of it. This is some of the preempt stuff if we have to. This is he just keeps popping up and keeps delivering every day, winning, and sanctifying life and glorifying it and humanizing babies and humanizing families and talking about how humans are good and then that makes people act good and it makes people have vision and it makes them believe and then you see it happen. We've been under conscious demoralization just like a foreign military does to its enemy. And it's stopping. And the enemies are just like completely out of control, frothing at the mouth, not knowing what to do. You can see it's a spiritual war. And I'm not judging everybody that's had abortions. A lot of people that mean well have them. I'm not judging you. I'm saying that people that push it and love it at their level, it is their greatest sacrament. They don't just like raping babies. They take the tissue of the babies and then they grow the tissue in these vats, and then they harvest it, and they grind it up into vaccine material, into flavor testing for Pepsi, into thousands of products we know of. We are literally ingesting our own children, and it's done not from a position of eugenics, even at the base level, to get rid of poor people, as it's pushed, and to make society better. No. It's done to dehumanize everything, and Trump, and the times I've talked to him, would say, you know, I know they're targeting churches of the IRS. We're going to stop that. And we're going to stop partial birth abortion. And we're going to go back to the states. And you know, that's constitutional. And we're going to save children. And I'd say, well, I'm a Christian, sir. Yes, I'm really glad that you're saying that. But I still kind of halfway believe the media that he was this big liberal somehow. And this was rhetoric. And I'm like, sure, let's get the tax cut, stabilize the country. And I'm sure that's going to be great. But then Trump, 3 or 4 times I've talked to him, brings up the energy at churches and the people praying. And then he talks like, especially when he's in black churches, he's like, man, you feel the energy in here? And he gets high off of it. And, you know, Trump didn't used to pick that up in the elite churches he went to and stuff where it's all just a social gathering. And Trump likes the average people, and he's into energy, positive energy. He's like the opposite of a psychic vampire. You know, I've only been around Trump a couple times and not even really able to talk to him. And it's like, you feel the energy. Same thing with his wife, is even more energy. And you're almost like, can't even hardly walk up to him. And it's not like any Hollywood stars I've ever seen any of it. It's like when they turn it on, man, it's like, and the globalists know it. And he's been a sleeper cell for 50 years. His dad was a big anti-globalist patriot, gave huge amounts of money to the John Birch Society. He fought NAFTA and GATT. And he has been literally preparing for this his whole life. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is, let me tell you, their final thing is abortion. It's their whole cult, their whole system. And when you go after that like he's doing, there's no way he's with the Illuminati. There's no way he's with this system. There is no way, and he'd be doing this. Zero. And, of course, my gut tells me that, too. And the churches, their gut tells them that. The real churches. That's why he liked hot women when he's, or most of that's made up, whatever. King David, had his best friend killed so he could have his wife. He repented of it later. He did it out of the flesh. He wasn't inherently evil. Trump hasn't done 1/100th what King David, a man after God's own heart, the prototype of Christ, did. But what you judge a man by is the fruits and by the man's enemies. And by his fruits and by his enemies, you know this man, so many Christians have said, predestined to win, can't be stopped, all this stuff. They feel it in the spirit. And I'm kind of like, come on, let's not be that optimistic. And now, I mean, they're going to try to kill him. We already know that. They're like demons crawling around on their bellies right now, or the pigs running over the edge of the cliff when, you know, Christ tells Legion, not the name of the demon, but we are Legion, out of him, and the demons run into the pigs, and they run off the edge of a cliff. That's what these people are doing, the Democrats, the globalists, all of them, and then they're slaves. Because they get the left into this elitism that we're the intellectuals, everybody else are country bumpkins, people that believe in God are idiots, blah, 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 and then we're going to run society and we know best. That's your average liberal means well. But above them are really dark controllers who know and who are into the occult and into dark energy and into death and into being evil and into being selfish. And when you pull back and see them, it's sick. And you just thank God you're not those people. This is so historic. I didn't even know this was going to happen. There've been rumors of it, and just boom, it pops up. So I don't even know if he's still speaking, because we were playing it live. But now we've got it paused from earlier. I haven't even plugged this hour, because I'm just I can't even plug products in the middle of stuff like this. So please support the show, InfoWarsStore.com, or we won't be here. Thank you all for your support. Let's go back. But the president's delivering. You're delivering. Here he is.
Today, I'm announcing that we have just issued a new proposal to protect conscience rights and religious freedoms of doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals. So important. I have also just reversed the previous administration's policy that restricted states' efforts to direct Medicaid funding away from abortion facilities that violate the law.
Exactly what he told me on the phone a year ago. Boom. That's how, see that?
We are protecting the sanctity of life and the family as the foundation of our society. But this movement can only succeed with the heart and the soul and the prayer of the people.
A pro-human future.
Here with us today is Mary Anna Donadio from Greensboro, North Carolina. Where is Mariana? Hello, come on up here, Mariana. Come. Nice to see you, Mariana.
People are the foundation.
Mariana was 17 when she found out she was pregnant. At first, she felt like she had no place to turn. But when she told her parents, they responded with total love, total affection, total support. Great parents? Great? I thought you were going to say that. I had to be careful. Mariana bravely chose life and soon gave birth to her son. She named him Benedict, which means blessing. Mariana was so
grateful
hit pause
for
again.
Her
parents' love and support.
Hit pause. Thanks. Did you see Trump just go, doing good and good energy? That's the secret to Trump. He's getting high off of this. He's getting energy off of doing good. Not off everybody praising him up there, but off of delivering on what he said he would do. When he signed the tax cut that knocked out much of Obamacare, he went, when he pushed that thing out, he signed it, see, this is what being honorable is about. It's spiritual. It's getting closer to God each time you do good. And maybe 30, 40 years ago, Trump wasn't that close to God, but he's getting a lot closer. And this is all of our journeys we're talking about here. This is just amazing. And let's go back to the president.
As fortunate as her. She joined with others in her community to start a maternity home to care for homeless women who were pregnant. It's great. They named it Room at the Inn. Today, Mariana and her husband, Don, are the parents of 6 beautiful children, and her eldest son, Benedict, and her daughter, Maria, join us here today. Where are they? Come on over.
Praising families, praising real wealth, not Hollywood red carpets. This is the opposite of Satanism.
Over the last 15 years, Room at the Inn has provided housing, child care, counseling, education, and job training to more than 400 women. Even more importantly, it has given them hope. It has shown each woman that she is not forgotten, that she is not alone, and she really now has a whole family of people who will help her succeed. That hope is the true gift of this incredible movement that brings us together.
He just said
today.
the family's wealth. See?
It is the gift of friendship, the gift of mentorship, and the gift of encouragement, love, and support. Those are beautiful words, and those are beautiful gifts. And most importantly of all, it is the gift of life itself. That is why we march. That is why we pray, and that is why we declare that America's future will be filled with goodness, peace, joy, dignity, and life for every child of God.
Hit pause again. We got to go to break.
Thank you to the...
I told you when I was there a year ago, before I even tweeted out, the New York Times cover said, how did you know what he would speak about it? I didn't. I felt it. I said he's going to bring God back into the covenant. He's going to declare that people have value again. He's going to say that families have value, that the states have value, that the power is the people, and that and that again, we're not going to be transhumanists. We're not going to go down this road. And now he's doing a ritual up there of love's coming into America, decency, honor, life, the family. He's literally engaged in a ritual, a Christian ritual, saying, we're bringing the light back in. We're bringing God back in. Last night, I was talking to one of the top writers in the country, and I was talking about a big project we're working on that's very, very important. I'm just going to leave it at that. And this is a simple thing, but it's key. And it spells it all out right here. I said, thanks for believing in a human future and fighting for it. And we go on to talk about that. We're fighting for a human future. Which side are you on? This is the InfoWar. Stay with us.